Okay, on with the minigames. We are gonna be the coolest kid in the 3rd grade. I may be a little gray in the liver, but I still know my way around Magikarp Splash and, next one please, and Snorwar and Ekans Hospital, and I know what I'm doing here, let me tell you. So just a pre-warning, these are all timing-based and they were made under the assumption that you're using a CRT. So don't laugh at me if I just completely fuck it up. So you think this one's based on like a real thing that happens in Japan? They have like fish jump height measuring. Obviously this idea had to come from somewhere. You can picture it, can't you? Just a bunch of Japanese people circled around a bunch of flopping fish, and one jumps particularly high and oh, so great! Okay, next up. The timing on this one's extra tight as it gets going. See, it starts off slow and then it starts to pick up in speed and intensity. Insert funny analogy for some other thing that also picks up in speed and intensity here. You like those wavy cubes in the background? That was probably some mandate from Nintendo when they were developing the N64. You have to be able to make textures wavy, you see. We at Nintendo, we know what gamers want. Once it gets to this point, timing-wise, there's just no way. I like the occasional fieriness in the background, too. It makes us feel like we're in hell or something. It's a pretty accurate estimate of what the 4 people watching this video are probably doing right now. Okay, so next up we got Ekans Hoop Dreams. You guys ever play Mario Hoops 3-on-3 where they had like a realistic basketball game and then they just imported like goofy-ass looking Mario characters where they just stole the models from Mario Party and they were playing basketball with realistic humans? So yeah, this one's tricky because you have to... It's very dependent on how far back you pull the stick. And obviously, I have not practiced this. Du musst trainieren. Just the visual of all these snakes flying everywhere. It's like this weird political video I saw the other day. It was RFK Jr. and, you know, his weirdness with animals. And, like, he just took a fistful of live snakes that he found and he was, like, handling them improperly, and they were like biting him as he had the snakes in his hand. He didn't even care. It's like, look at these. Look at these. Ooh, make sure you get the gold ones.
I want to know where the gold at. I want the gold. Give me the gold. I want the gold.
Okay, 3 for 3. If I can get every single one of these, I'll buy everybody in the comment section a free frozen yogurt. So, on this one, normally these Pokemon would be useless, but here they actually have a purpose. You just use Harden to deflect the rocks. There are instructions on how to play this game in the movie Get Hard starring Kevin Hart and Will Ferrell. There are also instructions on how to play this game in this game. We just saw them. It's really as simple as that. You don't want to hold it for too long. That would be too easy of an exploit. What if you just hold the button? They knock your health down if you do that. They thought ahead, you see. So here's a thought, so long as we're looking at all of this Pokemon stuff. You know, there's a subsection of the fan base that's just like these gross adult men, like these Christian-type people, or like that guy who wants the Lugia to vor him, or those types of people. So my question is, when did that start exactly? Was that right at the beginning, or did they figure that one out later? I'm not using a real N64 controller, so I don't know which buttons to press. The color coordination does not... This is not a workable situation. And look at that, it's the same shocking animation they would use in the show. Because that was that was Pikachu's whole thing in the show, is he was very aggressive and he would shock people constantly. I'm assuming they don't do that anymore. They probably baby-fied it even more, and everybody's got to be extra nice to each other, and he probably does something else. He probably gives out, like, hugs and, like pamphlets for his local church and such. And you ever get those crazy people with the pamphlets? When I was a kid, I would go trick-or-treating, and there was a house in the neighborhood. He'd give out church pamphlets along with his candy. Once when I was working at Walmart back in the day, there was a guy who had like a leather aviator's hat and goggles, and he gave me a church pamphlet. He didn't even know me. Anyway, so this one's not too bad. Difficulty-wise, just stand in the right spot and press a single button. How hard could that be? Your stupid ass can't fuck this one up. At least I would hope. I think there's a metagame here where if you can get the same item over and over again at combos, and that's worth more points. And of course you don't want to eat the toxic waste. Or maybe you'll do. You'll turn into a superhero like in the Marvel movies. You'll turn into Spider-Man or whatever. You hear that, impressionable young viewers? Go eat some toxic waste and you'll turn into your favorite superhero or whatever. So, anyway, at the time of recording, I saw online that apparently Summer Games Fest is tonight. I didn't even know. Didn't even know until the day of. Jeff Keighley's gotta up his marketing efforts. Go, you idiot, go! I was pressing the wrong set of triggers because I had the wrong controller. Well, that one went by pretty fast. Anyway, yeah. Summer Games Fest is coming up. I looked at the list of potential heavy hitters, and it's just... I'm so detached from all of this, I can't even pretend to get excited about the so-called big and exciting things that may happen. So, oh my God, Scoopity-Doo 5 is gonna be announced. Scoopity-Doo 5. It's like Jesus Christmas. This game is particularly lag-sensitive. You gotta do it way ahead of time. You gotta do it before it's even on the screen. Anyway, with Games Fest, I mostly just play retro games in TF2 at this stage of my life, so I guess it's not really for me per se, but there's always that maybe 2% chance that they're gonna announce Half-Life 3. There were some very credible rumors that they were gonna do Half-Life 3 last year, and then the actual announcement came and Jeff Keighley's all, oh, this is gonna be a big thing, I'm so proud to show this to you. I'm practically just gripping the couch in anticipation, and then it wasn't Half-Life 3, it was Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet. It's like, ugh. Okay, so this next one's just kind of like a shitty version of Space Channel 5. Yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory, I think. Everyone knows what Space Channel 5 is. Everyone played Space Channel 5 for the Dreamcast in 2000. That is a reasonable expectation to have of my audience. I feel like the tone of this minigame would be very different if that stretchy rubber hammer was replaced with like a realistic hammer. Like, what the hell kind of home invasion shit is this? You see, the difference between Space Channel 5 and something like this is Space Channel 5 has audio cues where they say all of the commands out loud, which makes them much easier to memorize. They just expect you to do that mentally on your own within the span of about 3 seconds. And therein lies the challenge, viewer. This is actually a bit harder than you would think. Well, I guess I don't owe the viewers that free frozen yogurt, I guess. Not that I was, Anyway, here's a funny story about Space Channel 5. we ran out of time. Well, I'll tell it some other day.